So literally, this is the framework that you're going to use, right? Facebook ad, lead form, landing page, automations, and then you're going to book these leads into estimates, right? How am I able to do this, right? So as you guys can see here, this is a fresh ad account, right, for one of my clients. And as you can see here, I've been spending $35 a day and they've only spent $1,867, meaning that they've been retained for 2 months. Why have they been retained? Because they've been closing deals through our leads. And how are you able to do it, right? So the first things first, when you complete the onboarding, you're going to be on the ads manager, right? And what you want to do here is you want to press create. You're going to click leads, right? Then you're going to go into click manual leads campaign, right? Essentially, you're going to get into a dashboard like this. So what you're going to do here to help you guys learn how to label things, when you create the campaign, you just want to put your agency name and you're going to put the date of when you created the campaign. This will just help you guys label things and keep things organized, right? Because if you can't organize things, you can't scale. Just remember that. Obviously, the most important thing that you want to do here at the campaign level is you want to turn on Advantage Campaign Plus Budget. Now, what is Advantage Campaign Budget, you may ask? Essentially, this is when Facebook decides how to optimize the ads, right? So you're leaving it up to Facebook to choose which ad is going to perform the best and where it should be spending the budget, right? And the reason why I'm doing this now is because Facebook has changed the law, right? The AI systems they have in place allows them to choose better, right? And faster, right? So leave it up to Facebook, right? And obviously adjust manually where you can, right? Anyways, when you've turned that on, what you want to do is you want to set the budget. So say they're spending $20 a day, you put it at 20. If they're spending 50, you just put 50. And that's pretty much it, right? Next thing that you want to do is go on to the ad set level, right? So on the ad set level, what you want to do is label it according to the targeting slash, the date. That's what I do, and that's what I usually do. And what you want to click here is instant form campaign, right? The next thing that you want to do is you're going to select the client's Facebook page, right? Because that's what you need in order to run ads. You need to run it from something, right? So you're gonna, if they don't have a page, you gotta create it for them, right? If not, select their Facebook page, right? And obviously here you can schedule the ad. So say you want to schedule it for the next day, usually just start it at 9 a.m. Reason being you want to start it from the earliest possible so that the budget can spend well, right? So here is the audience part. Here, obviously, you want to run these ads in the area of your client. Now, for this client, for example, they are in Antioch, California. Okay. So I will just search this up. And depending on if you're doing local legion, right? In this case, right, they only serve 60 miles around Antioch. So I'll adjust this here. Right, so I'll put 60 miles, right? So that's pretty simple. And if you want to add more locations, you just do the same thing over again, right? So what you want to do here next is switch to original audience options. And this is very important for targeting because if you don't do that, Facebook is going to place it to whoever it thinks wants to see the ad, right? So it might place it in front of people that aren't actually interested, right? Because what Facebook wants to do sometimes is want to spend more money, because obviously it's in their favor to do that, right? You're just going to make Mark Zuckerberg rich, right? And obviously, here's the targeting setting. Now, what I suggest you guys keep it on broad, right? I don't want you guys to try interest-based or anything complicated like that. What I usually do to get client results is just let Facebook decide. So don't change in the settings and leave it broad and let Facebook do all the work for you, right? Then you click save. So obviously, once you're done with that, once you're done with the targeting, you're going to go on to the ad level of the advertisements, right? And in terms of running the ad, what I want you guys to do is name it according to the creative number / the targeting strategy. So if you're doing broad, put broad, and as well date, right? So that's pretty much it. And if you guys don't have an Instagram account connected to the ad account, you're just going to click use Facebook page, right? So depending on what you guys are using, right here, if you're using video or image, what you're going to do is click setup creative. You're going to click if you want image, right? And you're just going to put the image that you guys created for your client, right? So it's pretty simple. For example, here. So obviously, once you're done putting the creative, what I suggest you guys do is go on ChatGPT and write me an ad copy for this client in this area, and these are the services he provides, and this is his offer, right? And it'll write up all the copies that you need, right? And I suggest you keep adding options so that you can test at least 5. Similar with the headlines, and same with the description, right? And what you want to put the call to action, you want to put get quote, right? So how are you going to create an instant form, right? So what you're going to do is create a form, say pixel perfect form, and put the date. You're going to select more volume, intro. What you're going to write is a short headline, put some emojis in. And what I usually do is I put a list, right? I put a list of the USPs here. It's pretty simple, right? Next thing here is you want to add the questions, right? So obviously you add phone number, address, and obviously zip code. This literally is the most simple things, and this is what you should add, right? And obviously you want to add extra questions to pre-qualify them. So what you want to do here is you just say multiple choice. And for example, in this case, for landscaping case, you'd write, for example, what service are you looking for? What service are you looking for? So obviously you know what they're actually looking for, and maybe you can ask another question. When are you looking for the job to be done? And then here you can put like time frames, 1 to 2 weeks, 2 to 5 weeks, whatever. And privacy policy, essentially, what you want to do here is you want to create a Google Doc, right? And just write ChatGPT, create me a privacy policy, and copy paste it onto the Google Doc, copy paste the Google Doc link into here, right? And make the Google Doc public so that, it's pretty simple. Right, now here, what you're going to do is this is the landing page part. You're going to click go to website, and, you're going to write, thanks, you're all set, create form, right? And obviously you're going to link their website. So in this case, it would be Milo Landscaping Concrete. Okay. That's pretty much it. You're going to create form, right? So that's the example. So now what happens next, right? What happens when the leads submit their details, right? What you want to have is go high level sequences in place to help you book these leads into estimates. And what I mean by that is here, as you can see, I have automated text in place for my clients to help these leads get activated, right? And once I see that they replied, I immediately give them a call since I'm booking estimates for my clients. But in the case that your clients are calling the leads, you still want to put these sequences in place, but when they reply, you want to send an email out to your client or SMS out to your client or return a notification out to your client saying the lead has replied, right? So that they can call them immediately. So these sequences are super simple. So for example, when a lead comes in, all I do obviously is integrate, the page, the form, right? I create or update the opportunity, right? I add it in the sales pipeline, right? I assign it to a user, so I obviously assign it to my client. And what I'm doing next is obviously sending myself an internal notification, right? So I'm sending it to, my client, right? So new lead, subject. So obviously first things first, I send an email with a contact name, email, phone number, service interested in. And obviously the next thing I do is also send an SMS. So I send both. You don't have to send both, but I do anyways, right? And obviously the next step is I send an SMS to my lead saying, is this contact name, meaning that it would say, is this Zach, if the name of the lead was Zach, for example, from Milo's Landscaping. And as you saw earlier, usually they reply, right? So obviously they don't reply, or if they do reply, I have sequences in place as well. So say for example, they do reply, I just have an automated SMS saying that, thanks for, this is me, we saw that you're interested in that, service. When would you be available for estimate, right? So that they can immediately tell us so that we don't have to waste our time calling them, or your client doesn't have to waste their time calling them. You can immediately book them in yourself for that date and time. And obviously, say they reply, with the time or date, you just say thank you. If they don't, just have you booked your estimate yet? Like just follow up with them. And if they do, just send an internal notification out to yourself to book these leads in, or as well to your client. Now, what happens if they don't? You just want to have simple sequences in place, so just send a question mark follow up, or essentially just have nurturing sequences following up with them, like to ensure that they can reply, and obviously you can set that estimate up, right? Obviously, guys, as you can see here, it all comes back to this diagram here. You're running a Facebook ad, you're running it broad, right, towards your audience. Next thing that you have is a lead form to capture these leads, right? You're asking them questions, right? And you're also getting their details. Next thing that you're doing is on the lead form, you're attaching your client's website. The reason being so that you can build some authority and trust. And not only that, so that they can potentially book themselves in instead of your clients having to call them or you having to call them. But in the case that they don't book themselves in, what you have is you want to have automations in place to help your client book these leads in, right? So warm these leads up to ensure a better conversion rate of lead to appointment ratio, right? Not only that, what you want to have, if you're calling the leads yourself, you want to make sure that these sequences are made so that they can reply, so that you can see when they replied, when they're hot, and you can call them immediately, right? And obviously, that's just how you're going to end up booking these appointments, quotes, whatever your niche is, right? Because in the end of the day, you're just trying to make sure that your clients are getting these leads and doing something with them, right? And getting potential meetings with them so that they can close them, right? So that's pretty much it, right?